These were called the Eye of God. Ooh, ghost! A lot of bodies, like a lot. Drops the camera, and we see him sprint off into the darkness. You make me sick. Let's face it, the world is a scary place, and that's okay. Being scared is one of the best feelings in the entire world, at least for me. If you clicked on this video, you probably agree. It's summer. Look at my little thing. You know what people do in summer? They go on vacation. Sometimes you want to go on vacation to places a little spooky. So today, I prepared 3 terrifying places that you probably shouldn't go to, but you know, why not? Let's explore the depths of the Paris Catacombs, the fog of Poveglia, and a prison so deadly the inmates stay after death. Grab a snack and turn off your lights because this is gonna be awesome. Paris. Wonderful place, wonderful city. It has bonjour, that's how you say hello. I know, I'm awesome. But also, it's a place of the Eiffel Tower. It's nice, you know, but under those beautiful, bustling streets of pastry shops and wonderful women, there is a 200-kilometer labyrinth of bones. Actually, the skeletons of 600 people. 6 million people. So, yeah. In the late 18th century, Paris had a little bit of a problem. You know, they had cemeteries, but those cemeteries had a lot of bodies, like a lot, and they were overflowing due to the plague, due to wars. Point being, it was kind of disgusting. So, to fix this issue, Paris said, let's put these bodies in these abandoned limestone quarries right under the city, because that's a good idea. It's also kind of a little weird. Every night from 1786 to 1809, more bodies were dumped into these limestone quarries. They did a good job with it. They've decorated the place. Let's just see here. Yeah, no, honestly, good freaking job. I wish my skeleton was put there, and I'm not even dead. After all this happened, Paris decided to open the catacombs to the public. Scary thing is, though, people hear whispers when they're in the catacombs. They see things run past them. They even feel like they're being watched, which, I mean, how could someone feel like they're being watched in a place that just has, like, millions of skeletons and skulls and dead people? I don't understand how that's possible, and that's really creepy. Multiple people have died here. Philip Aspier, this doorkeeper in 1793, found his way down to the catacombs somehow. He got lost. It's probably doorkeeping. I thought I was doorkeeping. This is no door. This is a human skull. His body was found 11 years later, only meters away from an exit, and it was only identifiable by his keys. He was like a complete skeleton. It was, it's kind of dark, actually. But maybe he's a ghost. Ooh, ghost. Scary. Anyway, it's easy to get lost in these catacombs. When this crew was searching to film some documentary, they actually found a camcorder on the ground in one of the restricted sections. Only a small bit is actually open to the public. Most of the catacombs are completely illegal to go inside. They found a camera on the ground, and on it is footage of this guy going through the catacombs, exploring the caves, seeing all the skeletons, and at first, he seems like he's just capturing some footage. As it goes on, he gets more and more panicked, he starts breathing heavily, and then he just starts sprinting. He drops the camera, and we see him sprint off into the darkness, and the camera is left there for hours until it runs out of storage, and it just stops recording. Why was he running away? He was never found. So he probably died down there. Maybe he's still down there. Maybe he found a way to survive by sucking the bone marrow from the skulls and feeding on other people who get lost. Or maybe a monster was chasing him. The catacombs are spooky. You know, only about a mile is open to the public, but there's around 200 kilometers that are just unexplored, which is really awesome. And other than the main entrance, there's tons of entrances, like accidental ways that you can find yourself in the catacombs. That's probably what happened to doorkeeper here, and that might have been what happened to the explorer. Some say that the Paris catacombs are the gateway to hell. So that's fun. You know what? If I get 1 million subscribers, I will go to the Paris catacombs. I will find the missing guy, and I'll find a freaking monster, man. So subscribe. Venice, a beautiful Italian city known for its rich culture and cool architecture and those little canals that boats go through. It's romantic. Italy is romantic, but off the coast of Venice is this terrifying island that fishermen will actually sail away from if they get too close. Let's talk about it. In the 1700s, Venice was riddled with the plague. We love it, we know it. The bubonic plague is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. They took people and they dumped them in. They dumped them into the island of Poveglia. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. They had these pits, these plague pits. They dumped thousands, hundreds of thousands of bodies of people who've died of the plague, or people who just have the plague. So some people were alive and they were still just chucked in and they died there.
Oh, Bruno, you have the plague.
No, I just have a cold.
Plague pit.
No,
Plague pit.
no. It's believed that most of the soil on the island is completely composed of human ash. That's awesome. So after the bubonic plague started to go away, to cease, the island was kind of forgotten about. No one lived there. I mean, no one lived there when people were being dumped in it. But in 1922, some people were like, hey, you know what? Let's build a psychiatric asylum, a ward right on the Soul Sand. It's a good place. It's free real estate. Some of the patients saw ghosts of the plague people, coughing, apparitions charging at them in the halls. It should be noted that most of these people were very mentally ill, so they might just be having hallucinations, but, you know, I think it's a ghost. I think it's definitely a ghost. The legend goes that the head of this psychiatric ward was this crazy doctor guy, and he performed lobotomies using hammers and nails and no anesthesia, so the people were fully conscious. Apparently, he was doing some dark experiments, and the reason the ward was on Poveglia was to, you know, draw attention away. He also locked people in the dark, chained to walls. That is rehabilitating. Do that to me, guys. Do that to me right now. The doctor, you know, he said, I've been pretty successful. You know what? This place is haunted. And so what does he do? He jumps from a bell tower, and so the asylum was shut down. And the bell tower in the center of the island was dismantled. The bell was taken away. But to this day, it still tolls. On foggy, stormy nights, fishermen hear screams from the island, hear the bell. One boat had a radio, and the crew reportedly heard the words Incidente and Lasciate, which means accident and leave. That's pretty scary. And of course, if you actually go on the island, you'll likely see people running around. I mean, not real people, ghost people, shadow people, and alleged accounts of this little girl walking around the beach, dubbed Little Maria, a plague victim who calls out to find her family, but she can never escape the sand on which her ashes are. Ooh, that was hard. As of today, Poveglia is illegal to visit, but people still do. And that's why I think you should go there for your summer vacation. Think about it. It is completely abandoned, so you'll be the only one there, or you could bring a friend, you could bring your girlfriend. Romantic. Italy's romantic. Why can't this place be romantic? If you see ghosts watching you, just tell them to buzz off. Say it with me. Ghost, buzz off. Philadelphia. That's a pretty cool city, pretty cool place. You know, I used to want to live there, but you know, I like it here in this room. I like it a little more than Philadelphia. Philadelphia is cool, but in the heart of it, it has this huge, awesome, horrifying building. This Gothic fortress was once one of the most expensive and famous prisons in the entire world, but now its dilapidated remains crumble away, hinting at something awful. Eastern State Penitentiary was designed to break its prisoners, and now they've returned to break it. This prison was opened in 1829. It was designed to reform people, to make them better people, you know, make them think about what they've done. It was almost all solitary confinement. There were a lot of small cells. They all had big skylights, and these were called the Eye of God. It's really comforting, honestly. People got no connection in here. Prisoners were hooded if they had to move so they couldn't see anyone, and food was delivered through small holes to avoid any contact. A few big-time criminals were kept here, like Al Capone. He's a big gang leader from the 1900s. Isolation isn't actually that good for people. A lot of mental breakdowns were reported. A lot of people A lot of people ended their own lives, tragically. That's not good. The solitary system was shut down in 1913, deemed too problematic. However, this prison continued to run until 1971. It's cool like that. It's a cool freaking prison. The Eastern State Penitentiary is incredibly haunted. Visitors have someone touch their back. They look around, oh, no one's there. They hear voices, all the good stuff. Al Capone actually said he was haunted by the ghost of James Clark. James Clark was a victim of the St. Valentine's Day massacre, which Capone allegedly made happen. Basically, Capone ordered for this guy to get killed, and now he comes back to haunt him every night. Also, every site I visited to get info for the penitentiary had this story about Pep the cat murdering dog. So, I don't think this is true, but apparently this dog murdered the Philadelphia governor's cat and was sentenced to life in the penitentiary. And there's mugshots and his number all over the place. So, maybe this thing still roams the halls. Maybe this thing is a ghost too. It's honestly, to me, more scary than any person.
How you feeling in there? You thinking about your actions? You make me sick.
The most haunted area of the prison is called the Hole. This terrifying dark cell below cell block 14. It's underground where people would go for punishment. Sometimes 2 weeks confined to complete darkness, almost complete silence, and minimum amounts of food. People were reported to go completely insane in here, and to this day, when people visit, they say they feel dark energy. The entire room is unsettling. Also, people have reported seeing something moving around with them in the darkness. Not a human. Maybe some monster. Maybe Pep, the cat murdering dog. I don't know which is worse. Since its closure, the Eastern State Penitentiary has been open to the public as a museum for all the terrible stuff that happened there. Tours are actually completely legal. So, if you wanted to go on some vacation, this would probably be the best one. It's legal, it's actually fun, and you probably won't die there. Probably. I will happily go to make a video here one day, I definitely will. At 20K. Yeah, so creepy stuff. Catacombs are scary, islands are scary, penitentiaries are pretty cool too. So, try not to get lobotomized. I guess I'll see ya. Also, thank you for watching so much. I will keep posting. I will keep posting weekly. At least the entire summer, and maybe more, okay? So just stay tuned, and have a good summer. Bye.